It's once again a pleasure to welcome you back to the Trackmania Live. Now, it's 2 times a week, but that is because we now have the most prestigious tournament in Trackmania Grand League coming up this Sunday. One of the guys who has made it to the playoffs in the latest edition, he also played on the stage in the latest edition, is the 5th-time finisher, Spam. World champion from 2012. Spam, once again, welcome back to Trackmania Live. How is everything? How is life at the moment?
Life is really good, not gonna lie. Trackmania and IRL, everything is pretty nice after I joined Alliance. Yeah, no complaints here.
Yeah, because the last thing I remember from the Trackmania Live was I asked, can you say what org you're going to be in? Like, you have to wait, you have to wait. But then there was another French guy who didn't wait. Can you tell us, how was that situation for you? I know it's a big org, so it's probably a big meaning to you to actually wait for the official announcement, but can you tell now that you look back on it, are you still salty about Sardoche and the situation there?
I mean, I was really upset, and right at the moment in that evening, Sardoche Twitter DM'd me. He was truly sorry and apologized, and I was like, okay, yeah, well, even though it's really unfortunate that this happened, I mean, whatever, what can you do? It happened. But yeah, the announcement nonetheless was really, really nice. Really hyped about it.
Yeah, can you tell us what does Alliance mean to you? Maybe some fans are like myself, who is essentially just in the Trackmania bubble, so we don't really understand too much about the orgs that comes in. We just hear people saying it's a big deal. Can you explain us maybe why is Alliance such a big deal?
So Alliance mainly known for their Dota 2 history, winning I believe it's a TI, the International 2. It's either 2 or 3, which is basically the biggest biggest tournament for Dota. There is millions of prize pool, millions of people watch it, and that's basically where they got their fame from. And Loda, he was a player back then for Alliance, and now he is the owner of Alliance. And yeah, honestly, the people in there that I've been speaking to are super awesome. And yeah, the history from Alliance mainly is in MOBA games, but now they are branching out to, well, Trackmania in this case.
And what does that mean for you? You have sort of had a feeling ever since I started doing interviews that Spam is like, it's going to take one event at a time. I'm not sure when it's going to leave, if it's going to leave, but can you tell us, what does Alliance mean for your future in this game? Does it mean that you will play longer, more motivated? Tell us.
Maybe not playing longer, but the future with me and Alliance is pretty good. Yeah, we don't have concrete plans yet, but as a player, I'm right now the #1 player in their arsenal. If they want to swap me out, well, so be it. But I do think that I still have maybe 1 or 2 years in me. And yeah, with Alliance, if I just keep on performing and being active with them, there might be a position for me in there as well, not just as a player, but as someone else.
Is that something you already think about now, that what is after your professional Trackmania career?
Oh, I've always thought about that. Like, it can just, like this, it can end, and then I have to move on to something else. But yeah, it's always in the back of my mind, but I pretty much live in the moment, and if something like this happens, then I will tackle it when it comes to me.
But then let's talk about the upcoming Trackmania Grand League season. You have played in the beta season, you have played in the winter 2020 season, and for sure you have played in most of the prestigious tournaments Trackmania has had to offer in the past. Tell us, how is the preparation going? How ready are you for Sunday compared to other events in the past?
To be quite honest, the motivation for TMGL wasn't really there at the start, because the maps got released like 7 weeks prior to Sunday. But the past 3 weeks, I've been really putting in a lot of effort, almost playing 4 hours every single day. And also a great addition right now is that I have a coach, not to guide me as a player, but more a mental coach. So it is, yeah, it also really helps me to talk to him and hear his view on some things and how to adapt in situations. And I think last year I was laughing basically at people having coaches or people helping them. But now that I have my own, it is actually a really great addition to what you can do as a player, because you can only do so much on your own, right? And having someone to guide you in some way, shape, or form is really going to help me in the steps. And I am I'm really prepared for Sunday.
You tell us about the coach's role then, because we have maybe Berge coaching virtual, we had Sophie B in the past coaching Papu, but to me it felt like it's essentially just a former Trackmania player teaching another Trackmania player about what to do in Trackmania. Is that the same part here? Does your coach has any relevancy or any history in Trackmania?
No, he doesn't. He's basically he's a professional, and he has been coaching Olympic athletes in the past. And he decided to switch from let's say real athletes to esports athletes. And he's just using his vision and what he learned coaching these guys, preparing them for like the Olympic day. And he's bringing that to gaming, and he's adding his twist to it. But it's more like it's both mentally and physically a coach, not so much as me driving a map and he tells me, no, you have to do this, because he has no idea. He basically has no clue what's going on.
But then you have a new org, you have a new coach. What goals do you have then for this season? Are you gonna try to top your performance in winter 2020 season, or try to do this as similar? What is your personal goal for this season?
I always go in TMGL by getting into the playoffs. That is always the main goal. And from there on out, we see what we can do. However, I do think that this season I can not just like be bottom fragging, but instead I really feel that I can battle with the top here. So my goal is definitely to get at least keep my points. Let's put that way. keep my. If I be in the situation where I have 50 points, I want to keep them instead of losing them, because that is the thing on the TMGL bingo. I don't want that to happen. And I do think that I can really perform. Also, with ice and the new blocks, it's really I feel like more comfortable. Let's say the least.
But then if you look after the group stage, there is a new playoff system, essentially maybe favoring the people who are more risky, maybe are the fastest, because essentially you have to win 2 rounds in a row. For you, you have been vocal in the past that maybe the cup mode system, when it's 10, 6, 4, and so, doesn't favor people that maybe are not first in every round. Can you tell us then, what is your view on how you suit in this playoff system?
Yeah, I don't suit in this playoff system at all. Like it's not built for me. The only thing I can see me do is let's say the phase 1. The fast players, let's say Kappa is in there, Carl, Pack, Massa. These guys are all like very, very fast. And when they are out, then it's my time to basically come around and secure myself the win. That's the honest truth. But I do think if the maps are in my favor, I think I do have the pace to compete with the faster guys. Yes, for sure.
So you haven't the goal of winning is not out of your reach now. It's not like you're settling for just the playoffs. You still have a sort of a goal at least to win it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always playing to win. Obviously, that is the competitive spirit that is always in me. And I will try my hardest. I will put in all my effort that I can. And if that puts me in a winning position, then that is definitely what I'm going for.
Final question from me. If you look at the other players in Trackmania Grand League, is there any names to you that sticks out in training, in other tournaments, in how they speak about the upcoming Sunday and the league? Who would you name as the favorites?
I haven't seen everyone's times, because some people might be playing offline or whatever they are doing. But I do have watched the streams from Massa, Scrappy, Papu, Carl, and they are all extremely fast. We also had the test step. I'm not sure if you guys know, but we had a testing step for the server, and 9 players were there. Some people were really freaking good and fast. I mean, obviously we were kind of trolling, but you could see that people are prepared, and the people that are prepared are the ones that have been scoring a lot of points last season as well.
So you don't think there will be major changes regarding who is at the top?
I don't think so, no.
Mhm. And then the final questions, I'm going to ask every single player that is on this channel to simply tell people where can I watch you, where can I watch Alliance, who is essentially new in Trackmania Grand League. What is the Twitch channel and who will cast your sort of point of view?
There hasn't been an official announcement yet who is gonna cast, but the cast is gonna be on my own channel, so twitch.tv/spammy. It did get leaked somewhere. If you're smart, you can find it, but officially it's not there yet. But I do have a caster, and he's awesome, and we're gonna make a great season. But everything is gonna be on my own channel. Yes.
Yeah, talk about that leak. I'm still waiting to announce my official cast, but people are like, hey, are you going to cast for that? Maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're smart, you can probably find it out, but don't leak it to the other public. I mean, please.
Yeah.
And final words to the fans that is going to cheer you on. You're one of the most popular guys in Trackmania. You're probably going to have one of the most viewed channel as well. Any final words to them who is going to look forward to Sunday to see you play?
Yeah. Go spam in the chat to cheer me on. Hopefully I will make you guys proud that follow me and support me. I'm gonna do my best, and I cannot do better than my best. So that's all I have.
That's all you have, and then all I have to say is good luck on Sunday, and let's hope it's not like a 50-point loss, and then if you come back on the Trackmania Live, I guess it's going to be a positive story, not a sad story, right?
Yes, we're going for that.
That's it for Spam. Next up is the world champion from 2016, that being Pack. A little break now, and then Pack is coming on. Thank you, Spam.
Bye.
He is the world champion from 2016, and he's the winner of the show match from Trackmania Grand League. Now, let's see what Pack has to say about this season. We have spoken a little bit about it before, Pack. You said that you have something to prove this season in Trackmania Grand League. You proved something in the show match. Does that mean that you don't have anything to prove yet, or how is the life overall at the moment? And what do you need to prove
I'm
now?
done now. Yeah, nah, I'm definitely not done yet. I'd like to do well in the season, of course. I mean, that's a goal. I mean, reach playoffs, and then win playoffs would be decent. But I think the goal at the moment is to have a good first step, see where it takes me. But yeah, I want to make playoffs for sure, and then hopefully be top 3 from in the league. That would be nice as well.
One of the stories or storylines when we speak about Pack and we speak about Trackmania competitions is like, how much time does Pack actually have to train? Because everybody knows if Pack is trained, he's one of the top contenders, if not the biggest favorite. Tell people, how much time do you have for this first step, and how much time do you have overall in the upcoming steps?
I've got a lot of time. Up until step 4, I've got all the time in the world to play, apart from obviously daytime because I work. But I've got a lot of time, so obviously training 2 tracks per week isn't going to be too strenuous. So hopefully that will be okay, and I'll be able to master each track as it comes. But yeah, up until step 4, I've got a good amount of time. Then I'm on holiday for a week, so step 5 will be a bit rusty, and then step 6 again I can spend a lot of time again. So I think the first 4, hopefully I can build some points. That is the goal, at least. And I've been doing all right. I've started training. I started properly training this week. I think Tuesday evening was when I started my official training for it.
And how confident do you feel then, let's say, compared to the show match that you somewhat absolutely destroyed?
I feel good. I feel confident on all of them. I know the dirt track is a little bit weary, but I mean, the only thing could go wrong there is if I do something stupid. So the only thing that could go wrong in these is if I do something myself. It's all in my hands whether or not I make top 8 each track, and whether or not I win some of them as well. So it's all down to me.
You said that now you have a lot of time, but tell us, how motivated are you actually to do well in this Trackmania Grand League? Do you feel that you are as motivated as maybe before Mania Planet World Cup, as before Gamers Assembly last year? How motivated are you for this season of Trackmania Grand League?
I mean, I want to have fun. I mean, that's the main thing. If I'm not playing well, then I don't think I can have as much fun. Like, you train each week for a Sunday to go well. If it's not going well, it's not fun. So I aim to play and have a good time playing. So I want to do well, and I am motivated to do well, and by that have fun as well. So that's my goal.
New for this season is the playoff system, something we have never seen in a competitive format in Trackmania, and then of course not in Trackmania Grand League. Tell us, what is your view on it? What is the overall feeling of it, and how do you see yourself performing in this playoff system?
Bit of a mad one, isn't it? I mean, yeah, TMJOS for show. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite telling, for upsets. It's all about the show and how things will progress with that. Is say for instance, a really bad player going through beating Carl. That's the idea of it. So, having to win, I think 2 rounds in the last 8 is a bit of a mad one, but it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, the final is going to be a spectacle if it's the right 2. I mean, if you want the real big players to be in the final, then people are going to really anticipate it. If it's, I don't know, a big player versus someone that you didn't expect to get to the final, it's not going to be that crazy of a final. So hopefully the best 2 players of the whole season get to the final, and it is a spectacle. Otherwise, the plan of what Hylis and Softy are coming up with is going to be pretty shit. So hopefully it does work.
But if you look at the field yourself now, who would you say is the biggest favorites to do well in this season and maybe do well in this sort of playoff system?
Oh God, there's so many names. There are so many people that could do well. I mean, everyone. I think everyone has a chance of making playoffs. It's just whether or not you show up. Anyone can do it. So, and then when it gets to playoffs, then you'll really see who can win this. And if anyone in the season pulls away, then it'll be them. But again, if it's anything like last season, you choice of quite a few people. So yeah, I don't really know. I haven't really got any predictions in terms of who can make it to playoffs because I feel like everyone can. So.
Can you tell us how much does actually the change of now? It's not only the playoffs that is going to be cash prize. It's actually also the group stage that, in fact, will have more cash prize than the playoffs itself. Will that change your goal? Then maybe feel that winning the group stage is then bigger than the playoffs, or?
No, in terms of money wise, yeah, it is bigger. But in terms of achievement, the playoff will still be something you'd rather win. But yeah, I mean, however you can get more money from this game is the best thing. So obviously, I'll try and win the league and win the playoffs to maximize that. But ideal scenario would be that. But yeah, I don't feel like the league has a more beneficial weighting than the playoffs. I think in this scenario where the league is so long and the playoff is so short, the cost wise it works out. But I think the playoffs is definitely worth in terms of a morale kind of way.
Final question from me. Let's say that if you're fully trained, if you're fully motivated, do you think that you are good enough, or are you then the biggest favorite to win it? Or let's say that everybody is at the peak of their time. Do you think that your peak level is better than other players' peak level?
Peak levels. I don't know. I say my peak is up there. If I am completely no lifed, I'd say the top 4 would be Carl, me, Gwen, and Brent. For instance, if we all had the same time, but we don't all have the same time. So that would be my top 4, for instance. But I feel like at the way we all are, I think anyone can really can do it. Everyone looks as if they put a lot of time in. I don't know where Gwen is in all the leaderboards, but I think it looks as if it's going to be a good start this Sunday, and hopefully things continue like that. But hopefully I get the most points this weekend.
Final question from me. I ask all the players this. I'm going to ask you as well. Where can they follow you on Sunday? What channel is it on, and who is going to cast it? Is it publicly announced?
Well, it's on the website, isn't it? So it'll be you and Turbo. It will be on Turbo Stream or the evoN main channel.
I think so.
It's one of them. I think it's the evoN main channel. So yeah, people can go there to watch it. That'd be great.
There we have it, and then you're gonna have some more pressure on you because I'm not gonna cast someone who doesn't qualify to the playoffs. I mean, promise me that. Come on, promise me that.
I can't promise anything. I might just throw it all in the bin on Sunday, but
no,
I plan.
To cast it. You just wanted Circa to cast it. I see.
Hey, that would have been cool, but no, I plan to make it. Don't you worry.
Okay, there we have it. So then, if you wanna follow Pack, then you're also going to be hearing this voice again. So good luck on Sunday, Pack. And I guess we will speak really soon then. So that's it for Pack. Next up, who is that? Let's see after a break. But thank you, Pack.
Cheers, man.
it's time to create some history on this Trackmania Live, and it's time to welcome a guy who I haven't interviewed before. And then it's a bigger pleasure to welcome then evoN. evoN, first time on this channel. How is life? How is everything? And how are you doing on this Friday evening?
Well, I'm pretty good myself. Can't complain. And I'm happy I'm finally here.
It's been some time in the making. We have tried to make it in the past. Mostly, as always, I'm the one to blame. But hey, let's not think about the past now. Let's think about the future. And the future is Trackmania Grand League. How do you feel about the upcoming Sunday? Do you feel confident? Do you feel ready?
I think I'm confident. I didn't put that much hours into practice, but I have some good PVs. So I don't know. We will see. I can't really say anything.
And you're also the only player now that doesn't have an org, at least an announced org. Can you tell us, is that org gonna be announced? Do you even have an org? Tell us, what is the current situation with you and a potential org?
Yeah, it will be announced tomorrow. And I mean, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay. So people can just wait until tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then
6
I guess they can follow you on Twitter and you will be sure to retweet it, right?
Yep.
But then if you go back to the last season, one of the storylines was that you were a new player. People were wondering where will then Marcin place. Then you had sadly some technical problems like I have on Discord sometimes. But tell us, how was it to be in there playing against the best of the best players, but not in ideal circumstances?
I mean, it was pretty stressful. Every week I was kind of like hoping to get into the server, which was kind of sad, but like that's the thing. But it was really nice playing against the best players. I gained a lot of experience. Yeah, it's sad that it happened, but what can you do?
But was there a point were you scared about your future in Trackmania Grand League once there was like rumors about Yannex coming in? It was like, then who is going to leave? Is it going to be Revolution? Is it going to be evoN? Is it going to be Matt? Were you scared about your own future in Trackmania Grand League after the season had finished?
Yeah, I was. I was one of the last players to be picked. So I mean, I was pretty scared. But yeah, I'm in, so I'm happy.
But then now you have played against the best of the best, at least some of the steps last season. How well do you think that you can do this season? Do you have any goals about what you want to achieve this season?
I mean, I would love to qualify to the playoffs. I think it is possible. But yeah, obviously, the season is really stacked, so it's going to be hard. But I'm going to try.
What would then qualifying to the playoffs mean to you? Would you call that your biggest Trackmania achievement, or?
Yeah, I would say that.
But you have played a lot of tournaments lately, right? Already in the new Trackmania, right?
I mean, only PKRC.
Okay, so then I watched the only one event that you played. But can you tell us, how is it to then compete in this new Trackmania? Does it feel different than Trackmania 2 Stadium?
Yeah, it does feel a little bit different, but I think it is much better.
And how? In what way?
I mean, there's no Rammsteins, obviously. The game kind of runs more smooth as well, for me at least.
But if you look at the other players then in this Trackmania Grand League, you mentioned that it's going to be stacked. Do you have any names on your lip that you want to say as the biggest favorite? Or do you have maybe some surprises? How do you view the other players?
I mean, I would say Gwen is the biggest favorite. But I think Papu can also do really well. He's been training a lot and being really fast. But yeah, I hope Carl Jr. also will do good.
You hope he will do good.
Yes.
It's a fanboy here, right? I'm only fanboy on this channel, so yeah. But tell people, how do you then prepare for Trackmania Grand League? In what way do you train? Do you train map 5 and 6 most? Do you train the maps that you feel the least confident on? How is the preparation going into Sunday?
I mean, I'm trying to play all of the maps, but I do put a lot of focus into the last 2 maps.
Do you think that it's a good thing to then have a system that is eventually more rewarding for the last maps compared to the overall maps?
I don't know, actually.
But something that Yeah, exactly. We don't really know. But if you then have to say your feeling about this new playoff system, you obviously haven't played it. You obviously have watched it like none of us have. But can you tell us, how do you think that you will perform in a playoff system like this?
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But are you then, for people that might not know you, would you say that you are a fast and risky player? Would you say that the overall feeling of being average lap times, are that your strongest? What is your strong sides in Trackmania?
I would say consistency. I'm not that fast, but I can do some good times, of course.
And consistency was the word I'm looking for, so thank you. But for people then that might, or I guess it's then going to be hard to ask you this question like I ask all the players, but if people want to follow you on Sunday, they cannot know what org it's for, they cannot know what challenge it's for, but tell the people then, what is your Twitter? Where can they find more information about it tomorrow?
Well, my Twitter is evoN. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's the answer to the question. So, and I guess that's it for today. No more topics that potentially our future Trackmania podcast can do, because I think people would love to hear your story in Trackmania. You are one of these sort of mystical guys that I haven't asked every single question about them lives to. So maybe in the future a Trackmania podcast with evoN would suit, right?
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, okay. Then we have a podcast in the future scheduled, and then it's left for me is to say good luck on Sunday, evoN, and please tell me when I can retweet that announcement from your Trackmania Ground League organization.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
That's it for evoN. Next up should be Matt, if my order in head is correct. But yeah, a little break before that, and then let's see who shows up after the break. Thank you a lot, evoN. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Yes, thank you.
It's time to welcome the only player from Brazil and then the only player from South America in Trackmania Ground League to welcome him onto the Trackmania Live. Matt, no glasses, no suit, no Dr. Disrespect. What is this? I expected something from you, but I mean, what is this?
I tried to get myself ready for this, but didn't have much time. I lost my glasses. This is the Doctor disrespect we will have for Trackmania. He even loses his glasses. The suit,
Identity revealed.
yeah, the suit, too much work to get it.
But all jokes aside, how is life overall at the moment? How are you personally feeling before essentially the biggest tournament in Trackmania is starting?
I think it's a bit of a different feeling from what I had last year. It's more nervousism, but in a worse manner. I'm like more worried. It's not that it's the new game makes it the maps feel all more consistent, but the maps got harder in every single part. They require so much more focus. They require for you to give your 110% all the time. And training that with the hand issues that I have it's not motivating. It really makes me have to take breaks too often or simply not be able to when I want to train.
Yeah, the hand issue has been a topic in the past of our interviews. Can you tell us what is the current situation about the hand injury? How much does it actually affect your preparation?
Like the last time, like I went to a doctor and I had like the tennis elbow thingy, but now I'm still like not in quarantine, but I'm like doing the quarantine because Brazil still is being very affected by the virus. So I'm not leaving home too often. I haven't gone to the doctors or anything still to check up again. So it's like what I know, and what I know is it's annoying. It hurts. It starts growing up pain after a bunch of hours, and it's very impressive because when I'm playing like Keki or other stuff that don't require me to keep pressing the keys that hard or that often, it's actually fine. Keki sometimes need me to just press forward and maybe sometimes press another key, and then TMGL it's pressing break all the fucking time, all left, right, and then my hand goes down. It starts hurting on way more than playing any other thing.
But how much does that affect your motivation then? Because you know that you cannot train as much as you want.
It's every time when I'm when I'm here.
Every time when you hear, but that's okay. So yeah, of course we know that you've been affected with your wrist injuries ever since the middle of the winter season of the Grand League. How has that affected your motivation and sort of your training in a way in the lead up to the fall 2020 season starting on Sunday?
Yeah, it's like it is a scary process, a scary thought to have in mind. It's like I want to train, I don't want to drive bad, but I really want to have a working hand at 25. I don't want to destroy my hand just because I'm overtraining. So it is like the conflicting ways of looking at the situation. And I still do think I push myself more than I should from the current hand situation that I have. But I still want more. I'm like the person that wants to digest the game all the time, and I can't. I just can't.
Once again, I'm back. I don't know if G-Geek asked the question I was supposed to, but thanks a lot for stepping in, G-Geek. It's good to have someone behind the scenes that also is good at asking questions. But my question before I got shut out by Discord, once again during a Matt interview, so I guess like Phoebe mentioned, you are my kryptonite, so let's see if that continues to be. But the question I was about to ask, does that affect your motivation overall in this training? Because if I am sort of training for something, I want to know that I want to be 100%. And if I cannot do something 100%, then it starts to be excuses. I cannot be 100%, so then I'm not going to put as much hours into it. So what is your feeling about this? Does this hurt your motivation overall?
It does. It does. It definitely does. Like it's a mix of this feeling and the feeling that I still haven't clicked with the maps from this step one at least, so I want to see if the next steps will have maps that suit me more. But the fact that there is this thing that hurts my motivation, and the fact that I don't want to use that as an excuse makes me super mad at myself for having this issue, even though there's no control from me over that. But it's like a paradox. it makes me want to train, but at the same time I don't want to train because of that. But I still do, and I still do think that I train way less than I would. So I keep like ending up affecting my motivation all the time. It really affected my motivation about streaming for like the past week or 2 weeks. I haven't streamed much because like I'm training TMGL, and the fact that I'm not driving as good as I think I should, I just don't have any motivation left to stream, even because of how draining TMGL training is.
But then, what goals do you have for this season? Is it just to have fun? Is it to qualify to the playoffs? It is to secure yourself another season? What do you have any goals even?
Like for this first step, I don't think I'll do well. Mostly because I don't know. I can do the identities and then I fail the rest, which should be easier. Then it doesn't make sense in my head. But I think that I can do well for the next steps. Like Softy has spoiled some things that I can say, but I think I'll be able to do better. Like if the maps change a little bit, I think I'll be able to push for what I want. I really want to get in playoffs, but I don't know. Like being high on the pack, if it's on the lower pack, it's good as well.
So then, if you look at the other players, then do you see any favorites? Do you see any sort of surprises? Because at the moment, when I ask people about players they see, it's obviously Carl Jr. and the list goes on and on. But can I ask you, do you see any surprises that can sort of, maybe people are not speaking too much about that, maybe can take it all?
I think it's someone that Spam has cited on his stream after we had the test step, but I think Aurel will surprise us a lot. Aurel is driving really well. He's not setting up the super fast times, but he is, but not like the absurd times that everyone is looking at his name. But his consistency and how fast he is being consistent and what he showed at the test app just shows that he's really well prepared. Like he is, I don't know, he stepped up more from what he was showing on the last game.
But then if you look at the players that are outside Trackmania Grand League, I spoke to Softy B. He said that at the moment he thinks the 16 best players are in Trackmania Grand League. So he thinks that eventually, if you have to play in a combine, the 8 players in Trackmania Grand League will beat the 8 players from Open Grand League. Do you think that is the case, that Trackmania Grand League at the moment actually have all the 16 best players?
It's close to. I wouldn't say that someone is or is not in the top 16 because I think like from one day to another that person might fit or might not fit into that. Yes, and we're close. I think people from the OGL are going to train a lot, but I still think even if we had the top 16 players in the TMGL when we got to the combine. Even if the combined system is all like cool and tries to favor every kind of player, it would end up in someone switching out of it or someone not being in the top 8 or bottom 8 just because of how sometimes Trackmania can vary.
But looking at then the new playoff system for this Trackmania Grand League, is it weird for me to say that playoff system actually can suit you? Because let's say that there is some sort of weird map coming up, then everybody's like, yeah, this is Matt's the playground. Let's say that is the case for a playoff, then you can win 2 rounds in a row and, hey, see ya, I'm qualified to the next round. Do you think that this playoff system actually can suit you better than the cup mode?
Yeah, and the fact that it suits me, it's something that I don't like. it shows that something isn't that right. I have a very defined opinion about it, but it's like I would like a playoff system that I would go through if I would be playing good all the maps, not if I just got a single map that I would drive that well. Even though that ends up being the fact sometimes for some players in playoff systems when it gets to their map. But I think, I don't know, it could be. It definitely could favor me. The same way it could favor anyone, but I would only say it would after more steps, after I have seen more maps to know what the map making of those steps will go into, like what will it look like.
And how many fastest laps are you going for this season?
I'll try. I won't get much this first step, but I don't know why I end up with that many fastest laps. It shows my playstyle. I really like to go fast,
Yeah,
and then I crash in the other lap. It happens.
that's for sure. But final question from me. Last season, we saw it starting off with one of the most funny clip from 2020. Once was what was his name? Chicken, space chicken, chicken, long chicken,
Tall chicken.
Tall chicken. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jiggy and Matt. But who will cast it this season, and where can people follow Space Station's point of view?
This time, the Space Station cast will be Marius89, and he will be casting on his channel. This time, Tall Chicken was not available to cast, and so SSG reached out to Marius to see if he would want to, and that's how we are right now. Marius will be casting for Space Station, my point of view.
Yeah, that's a good caster that you have there. But then final questions. We also mentioned Space Station. Do they have any goals for you? Have they said that they want you to actually place somewhere? Do they want to go you to the playoffs? Do they want to win it? Do they just want to save it in the combine? Have they told you what they expect?
I think we haven't talked much about this season. It's the shortest answer. We have spoken a lot while I was doing my cup, and we had the goals for last season, but we haven't talked about goals for this season. We simply haven't.
Well, all I can do then is wish you good luck on Sunday, but more importantly, wish you good luck overall in this season. And I hope that future map packs you too. But more importantly, I hope this sort of wrist injury won't be sort of the storyline for your overall season. So keep us updated, and don't be surprised if I'm going to invite you back on the Trackmania Live. Then hopefully not to only speak about your wrist problems.
Thank you so much, Eirik.
And maybe I should fix my Discord before I invite you back, but that's another story, right?
Every single time.
But that's it for Matt. I don't dare to have him on anymore. We have to go, and then a little break now, and then Yannex is coming up. Thank you a lot, Matt, but also, yeah.
Thank you guys so much for this, and yeah.
Okay, sorry for the intermission, guys. We're just waiting for Yannex. He's going to be available in a couple minutes. Stay with us, guys. Hang tight.
He's one of the players that are new to this Trackmania Grand League season, that being Yannex. Yannex, once again, it's a pleasure to welcome you back to the Trackmania Live, and it's once again a pleasure to welcome your Twitch chat to the Trackmania Live. How is life overall, and how are you feeling on this Friday evening?
Hello, everyone. So I'm doing pretty good. Just hosted my my competition, my weekly competition, and everything is good. I'm training TMGL, of course, and a bit stressed, but all good.
Who won the Sportix Cup?
It's Marius 89.
Oh, really?
Like performed really good. It was a cut edition, so every map had a cut. Yeah, that was a very good edition.
Marius 89 winning a cut edition. I mean, that is something I didn't expect to hear. The safe master himself.
Yeah, it was pathfinding, so new maps. He did it pretty good.
But we are here to talk about Trackmania Grand League and only Trackmania Grand League. Can you tell us, you mentioned that you are a little bit stressed. What does that mean? Are you not confident in your preparation? Are you nervous about playing against the best of the best? Why are you feeling stressed?
A bit of everything, to be honest. Like, so playing versus the best of the best is always a bit scary, but I know my I'm a bit confident still, but I will be more confident on the next steps, because right now the maps have been like played a lot from the other, and I didn't want to try hard for 2 months because I had other things to do with the stream. I don't want to only train TMGL. I always want to discover maps, etc. So I think I will be more. I will be better on the next steps, like 3, 4, 5, 6 with the new maps. 1 week to train. I think I will be good on that format more than 2 months try hard.
But then what is your overall goal for this whole season? You are, like mentioned, you are a first-time player in Trackmania Grand League. Do you have any goals about where you would place?
My goal is to do top 8. I know it's not gonna be like easy at all, but I'm gonna try hard for top 8.
Yeah, I have a ballsy pick out there. I mentioned that all of the new players in Trackmania Grand League, then being Gwen, Afi, and yourself, are going to be in the top 8. So hopefully you won't let me down. And just to put some more pressure on you, you are on my top 3 list for step 1 as well. Do you think that I should change that now, or what?
We'll see. Maybe I will catch up with the error, like the fails they're gonna do, but I don't know.
I learned my lesson from the Serati Cup when you were the only player that didn't bet in the Serati semifinals. So now every chance I have, I'm gonna put Yannex on the betting list, right?
I mean, step 1 isn't the best call for you, but yeah.
Maybe
whatever.
I should. Maybe. But tell people, we have seen some drama regarding the playoff system. We have the open letter. We have people maybe being outspoken about Trackmania Grand League as a whole. Has this affected your motivation overall for this league?
A bit. For the playoff format, it was like very bad in my opinion, and so that's why we did the letter, and it didn't really change. But we had information from like clarification from Nadeo about that. But yeah, it didn't change my motivation. I still don't mind the points loss in the Champions format. It's not a problem. I live with it. For the OGL, I was already like used to it, so it's not a problem. And it rewards regularity, so I don't mind.
Yeah, what format do you think suits you better? Is it to be consistent like the group stage, or is it maybe more risky that is then in the playoff phase?
It's the steps, like the regularity overall, and also the fact that we only have 1 week to train also suits me better, because I mean I usually learn fast the tracks, and then I have my peak kind of, and I stagnate, or I stay on the same level, but I achieve it rapidly.
Yeah,
if I could say that. Yeah.
You essentially want 6 steps in 6 days.
Yeah, that would be that would be good. That would be, or the better for me would be to discover the map during the steps. That would be insane.
I mean, suggest it to healers. I mean, they want everything to be done short. So, I mean, then, and they don't want player to train as much. They'll say, let's just do a full PTC on Trackmania Grand League, and I guess they will be happy.
Why not?
But something that is new since the last time we spoke together was that now you have finally an org. Tell people, what do we need to know about your org and all the information that you have about your new home?
So my new home is Edelweiss Esports. It's a very brand new esports organization based in Switzerland, and I'm really happy to be part of it, to start an esport team with people that already manage the esports team, so they know what they're doing, and yeah, they're gonna help me with all I do and support me.
Yeah, I retweeted it pretty fastly, and I asked the question, where will Yannex place in Trackmania Grand League? And the fastest reply was Edelweiss. They was essentially top 1 question mark. Have they told you about what goals they have for you in this Trackmania Grand League?
Yeah, I think on Twitter they were just kidding. They know my capabilities and what I can do. It was just a joke, I think.
But have they then told you about what they want? Do they want you to reach a playoff? Do they want you to secure yourself a slot in next season? Have they told you specifically what they want?
They didn't tell me specifically, but they want me to perform, of course. They didn't tell me like you have to do top 8 or whatever. Just it's my own goal, top 8, and the better I do, the better it is. There is no, I also want to secure a spot for the next season, so they don't pressure me.
Okay, but can you tell us overall how is your feeling about? You left Exalted pretty early, and you were one of the players that has to wait the longest until you find a new home. Do you think it was needed for you to leave Exalted so early to essentially have to wait, I don't know, 3-4 months to find a new home?
It wasn't like I don't know why Nadeo told me to, like, they asked me to leave Exalted to be like a free agent.
Yeah, free agent. Yeah.
So that the organization for TMGL know that I'm free agent and there is no like misunderstanding like I'm Exalted for TMGL. But yeah, they asked me in March, I think, to leave Exalted so that not March, in April or something. So that in September I'm free. I didn't understand, but it didn't change me since there was COVID, so there was no LAN event or whatever, so it wasn't a big problem.
Yeah, it's kind of weird if they had told you that, because you have the story of Bren, who essentially played for Solry really long, but still in the background already Kameto Corp was already in the work, so I agree with you. You should have played in Exalted longer, but maybe on the positive side as well. No LAN events, maybe due to the COVID-19. But you're new to this season. You're then new to the overall feeling about playing against these 16 players in a group. Who do you think is the favorite to win this season?
I mean, Carl Jr. Like always, he's very talented and very good, so I'm gonna bet on him, but maybe Gwen, like he did in ZRT, can take a win. I don't know.
And we are on my YouTube channel as well, but for you, we are on your Twitch channel here. You stream often, one of the guys who streams the most in Trackmania. What are your Twitch chat? What do they expect from you on Sunday?
I actually didn't ask them. I think they just want me to play with the best and do my best, whatever the the results I'm gonna do.
Top 1. I see top 1 here. I see top
1. They're joking.
But yeah, it's once again a time to end it, and once again a pleasure to have you on. But I'm gonna ask every single player this question: where can people follow you on Sunday? Which Twitch channel is it gonna be on? Who's gonna cast it? Tell people all they need to know if they want to follow your channel.
So it's on Edelweiss Esports Twitch channel. It will be cast by Pantoufle. It's in French only, sadly. And yeah, that's it. At 8 o'clock Sunday.
You're unsure about when you have to play or what?
Yeah, because he does a one hour pre-show on his channel, and then
okay,
whatever.
Okay. But I wish you the best of luck, and please tell me on Sunday before 8 o'clock if I should change my top 3 bet for step 1, because I need some points in my betting league, right?
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
I'm gonna believe-
I don't know
I'm gonna believe
myself what to expect because we didn't see every player, how much they train, etc. So it's also like a bit casino for me.
I'm gonna believe you. So you have my support at least, and then
Okay.
let's
okay.
see after Sunday. Maybe I have to call you back on Trackmania Live to ask you about what happened, or maybe I should call you back to say thank you for giving me 3 points.
We'll see.
That's it for Yannex. Only one guest left. That is Massa. Let's see if the Cuprameister himself is waiting in the shadows. Thank you a lot, Yannex, and thanks to the Twitch chat that stayed along during this interview. And good luck on Sunday, Yannex.
Thank you, and thanks for the interview. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's time to welcome the player who I had the honor to cast last season, that being from Berlin International Gaming. It's time to welcome back the Gamers Assembly winner from 2016. That is, his goes under many names: Cuprameister, Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305, but we know him as Massa. Massa, how is life at the moment? You're the last guest on, but I hope you're not asleep yet.
Hey man. First of all, thank you for inviting me, my man. I'm good myself. Not gonna lie, I've been mentally down a little bit these past few weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, I would say. But I'm back on my mental top, and I am not sleepy at all. What about you guys? Or
Yeah.
Rather you.
I mean, I'm just looking forward to the casual 3 a.m. stream by Massa tonight, so I'm ready to stay up late, right?
Could happen, but probably not. I don't think so today. Today is off day, I think.
Yeah, okay. But can you tell people, we have on Sunday the most prestigious tournament starting, that being Trackmania Grand League. How confident do you feel about your preparation so far leading up to Sunday?
Oof. Nice. I haven't even thought about answering that question, even though that's an obvious one.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm prepared. I'm just focusing on myself. I don't really care what others are doing, since many are also, under the radar training offline. I just look after myself, and I'm looking very good on most of the maps. I struggle on like 1 or 2 maps, but to be fair, I will get my shit together till Sunday, and I am going quite confident into the first step.
And what is the reason why you feel confident? Is it the training itself? Is it how you feel on the maps itself? Why do you personally feel confident?
Oh, so I must say at the beginning of the training, so like 5, 6 weeks ago, I kind of felt like, yeah, I'm gonna play Grantic again. I'm not the best on 6 laps. I know this myself. I'm not as motivated as I used to be always, but that has changed a lot, and I don't know why, but I feel really good in the game. I like the game a lot. I've probably played the most the most hours in this game, out of all players. And I've been enjoying my time a lot also with the streams and stuff. And for some reason, I really feel these Grantic maps. I really like the new maps. Like, I'm probably one of the few players, or maybe I'm even the only player, who really, really likes these hard maps. And I'm really enjoying my time. And I think that also shows in the records and in the training sessions. And I have never trained this much. I think I've already finished more 6-lappers than I have in the whole season in training, like previous seasons. So I cannot be more confident about myself this season than compared to last season.
I had some players on, and I tried to ask them who they see as a favorite, and most of the time it's like, yeah, Carl Jr., and then everybody else can win it. But I had Tween on, one of the most knowledgeable guys in this scene, and he said, do you know what? I'm going to say a name that maybe surprised you, that being Massa, because this playoff system that we're going to have is maybe sort of created for Massa. Does that give you more motivation to know that if I'm in the playoffs, then why not? Then I can win it all.
Oh, well, the playoff system is pretty odd. I think many players have already answered and given their feedback to it. Also, this public letter has been there. But yeah, obviously the playoff system, it's do or die, and it definitely fits me, especially when I look at the maps recently. I cannot complain. Like, I still don't like it personally to find out the best player in the world. But I have made peace with myself. I think that's also a huge change why I'm a bit more motivated. I've made peace that this is a show league rather than finding the best player. Like, this is my opinion. Obviously, some other people have other opinions, but I think many people or many players have already agreed on, this is a show. All right, let's just play this. We have our World Cup that got added. All right, that's something positive. And yeah, to answer the question is, yeah, obviously this format fits me a lot.
But what would then a win mean to you? Would it feel like bigger than Gamers Assembly in 2016, or?
I mean, offline events are always, a bit different. Right now, obviously, there cannot be offline events, but yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to rate that. It depends how I play throughout the season. If I dominate the season and end up in the playoffs, then of course it will feel like I can actually be the best player in the world. But it really depends how it goes and how it ends up. Like, if someone wins who hasn't really been performing in the actual season, and then also has kind of luck the playoffs. I mean, you can see it. Is he actually good, or is he just gonna be good when it matters? So it depends how it goes, I guess. And I don't think it will actually determine the best player, because many people won't be as motivated as they should be, when it comes to that sort of system. So it's hard to say, you're the best player.
Yeah. I casted you last season, and then I had the pleasure of speaking to you. I had the pleasure of following you maybe more closely than the other players. Something that was sticking out was that you for sure have the pace to be in there. I somewhat started to do some stats about who is leading the most and then essentially maybe failing, because maybe the result list from last season doesn't favor you, because it shows how you performed on the 6th lap, where you finished on the 6th lap, and maybe not how you finished overall during the 6 laps. How have you tried to change it, that maybe you drive less risky, maybe you try to think otherwise? Have you essentially changed anything from last season to this season in how you prepare and how you're going to deal with the contest itself?
Yeah, definitely. I've spoken a little bit with Carl actually, and he gave me a few advices. I have changed my practice style a lot. Sure, I still go for the fastest times and everything, but I have practiced a lot when it comes to just finish. Even if you maybe have a small touch, just keep on going, finish. And that's something I've never done, and I think that's gonna help me a lot. And the maps itself and the game itself and my mental attitude right now is pretty much more positive than ever. So I have changed a lot. I think if it's gonna, change a lot in the actual match, we will have to see. But I'm actually really, really confident going into it.
We had Spam on as the first guest today, so it's already a little while ago. But he mentioned that now joining Alliance, he has a coach, and that coach is maybe sticking out to other coaches in Trackmania because this coach doesn't really know anything about Trackmania, so it's only there to help him to think right, to prepare right. Do you think that that is something more players in Trackmania could enjoy and could actually benefit from?
Yeah, definitely. I think mentally, I've also written a tweet once that I think mentally wise, I think Trackmania is one of the hardest games. It's very underrated or underestimated rather, because like you're fully on your own. It's up to you how you practice. It's up to you how much you practice. It's up to you when you practice. It's all on you. And if you make a mistake, you're done. You don't have a teammate to back you off, or you don't have a coach to be like motivating you or anything. You're just on your own, and I think it's really underrated, a coach or like a mental coach rather. And I think that's a huge plus for Spam. And as he said, he appreciates him a lot, I bet, and I think we will see this a lot more in the future.
And I mentioned now a couple of times that I cast you last season, but sadly I don't have the pleasure of doing it this season. But that doesn't mean that Big is stepping down. I would rather say they're stepping it up big time. Tell people who is going to cast it for Big this season and where can people follow the stream.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, we announced it actually earlier on Twitter. It's going to be Trilux on his own channel, twitch.tv Trilux, with the co-caster Felixan. Both ex-Trackmania players. I'm sure most of you guys know him or know them. And yeah, I'm sure they're gonna give us a great time. They already casted the show match. I think the YouTube video already has like 250,000 views or something, just the show match. So that's insane actually when it comes to YouTube views. And the Twitch views were also insane for being the first, sort of event. And I think it can only get better. And it's a huge win for, I think myself as a player, but most importantly for the league. And obviously that motivated me a lot. I obviously knew that they were gonna cast, and I obviously, tried to get them as well in. And that motivated me obviously a lot to do well in the league, Yeah. So twitch.tv Trilux.
I mean, I can sort of understand why you picked Trulux. I mean, 250,000 views against 50 views. I mean, we are some sort of in the same league, me and Trulux, but not really, right?
Almost, man. Almost.
Yeah, almost. Soon, one day.
Yeah, I think it's only like benefiting everyone,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
so. And I must say, it's not like it's worth paying him, like he does this, like really huge respect to him. He does this out of, I don't know, out of passion, out of passion. Like he doesn't need to do this. Like he can just grab a, I don't know, Valorant deal and get the $10,000 for 1 hour broadcasting. You know what I mean? You don't get that in Trackmania when the prize pool is,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
even close to that. So you gotta respect that guy, and I'm sure it will benefit him as well, obviously. But yeah, on the long run scene, we can be thankful for him doing this.
But do you think that that puts more pressure on your shoulders because now you know that Trulux, one of the biggest profiles in the esports scene in Germany, if you perform well, then you can sort of become like this fan favorite in Germany during this league. So have you thought about, will this actually put more pressure on your own shoulders?
Yeah, of course. I do have to say that I also talk a lot with my manager or CEO rather in Big, and I've talked about that the league is kind of demotivating, with the point loss, and the 6 laps doesn't really fit me, and then the playoffs is completely different, which actually fits me. It's like, it's like, I don't know, it's like midlife crisis all over again. And he actually said to me, I should focus more on my streaming part and growing myself as a creator and pro player at the same time, and just play the league. Just don't focus as much on it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. But that has changed simply because I really want to do well. I see it a bit different. I see it a bit opposite now. I have seen it the same a few weeks ago, but right now I have this mindset: if I do well in the league, I get a lot of I get a lot of followers obviously out of it. I get a lot of fans out of it. I can earn money with it. Like if I grow my fan base, I obviously also get bigger on social media and everything. So like it can grow me personally a lot, rather than just keep on streaming track of the day. So I have changed my mindset a lot, and let's wait and see what I can do.
Well, I'm gonna wish you the best of luck on Sunday with overall in this league. And one thing is for sure, if I put all about being objective aside and just want to be a fan of Trackmania for once, I really want to see you in this playoff, because I just want the fastest of the fastest to actually play this playoff. I can actually have some fun with it and try to make the best of it. So best of
I
luck to
agree.
you, Massa, and let's hope you make it to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot, but I'm gonna have to say here, like playoffs is the goal, yes, but I really want to do well. Like I don't want to luck to the playoffs, like get 7th or 8th because I have good last map or whatever. I want to perform. Like I want to get 6 maps and I want to play good on 6 maps, because this is the future. Like this is how Grand League will look like. There will be more seasons of it. If it's a show, if it's not a show, it doesn't matter. But I need to get better on 6 laps. I need to get better on these tracks, and yeah, this is my personal goal. And if it's playoffs, then it's showtime, I guess.
It's showtime. That's some awesome words to end it on. That's it for this Trackmania Live. All we now have to do is to wait till Sunday at 20 CST. So thanks to the 13 players that actually stepped up to do all these interviews. And yeah, I'll try to slide into the DMs of Carl Jr., Gwen, and Bren again, but I will never forget that they said no to stepping up to do this. So it's a pleasure to do this interview once again, Massa, and it's always a pleasure to do interviews with pretty much everybody in Trackmania, because essentially I'm just a small guy doing this, but the biggest and the best players say is like, sure, tell me just when it is and I will show up. So huge shout out to you, but also a huge shout out to everybody who stepped up to do this interview. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. It only would be me sitting here alone with 2 viewers talking about the future of Trackmania Grand League.
I'm sure we appreciate you as much, my dude. No homo.
No homo. Only homo in Portugal, right?
Hello.
But that's it for today. G-Geek, who has been the producer for both of these episodes and is the producer for pretty much every Trackmania Live and the Trackmania podcast. If you want to say some few words, do it. But before that, make sure to follow G-Geek on Sunday at the Pittsburgh's channel, but also on Twitter. So G-Geek, the floor is yours and this sort of marathon of Trackmania Grand League interviews.
All right, all I can say is thank you very much, you guys, for stepping in and watching this episode of the Trackmania Live. Pretty rough, pretty big marathon that we had with 13 interviews in total. Hello again. And yeah, thank you to all of the players that stepped in. Here are the list of the players that stepped in for the second night that we had tonight. And yeah, all the interviews done. All I can say is crack on Trackmania Grand League. Bring on the fall 2020 season. See you on Sunday, September 13th at 8 p.m. CEST on all the respective streams, whether it be it mine, whether it be it Eirik and Turbo's stream over on M&M Gaming, or be it another stream that you might want to watch and cheer someone else on. So yeah, see you then on Sunday for the start of the Grand League season. And from us over on Trackmania Live, that's the end of it. We'll see you next time. Godspeed, people.